So, hey there. Welcome to script number two. So, this is my video series on AI and all the positive things that we can accomplish with it. My first video outlined some definitions and theories, and I want to start expanding on those. First off, mostly to counter the comments that will invariably come up, is a quick discussion on post scarcity economics, or as I like to call it, not economics. This, in a nutshell, is the future we're aiming for, the future we want to will into existence, the future that we need to guide humanity towards, and it is a hopeful future. So, one of the biggest counter arguments against post scarcity is that scarcity never goes away, it just shifts somewhere else. While this is probably true, my theory is that it won't matter. When we have solar powered AI robots that can overproduce goods and services 24/7, 365, we will have practical post scarcity or effective post scarcity. It'll be a distinction without a difference. So, really, automated overproduction is how we drive everything down to zero marginal cost. This is actually something that capitalism has been working towards for decades, and basic human ingenuity has been working towards for a few thousand years. It's kind of funny, but the death of capitalism will probably be caused by its own built in mechanisms. So, we accomplish this end through automation that can produce everything, and I mean everything, with no human intervention. If you want something, you tell your AI, and it will arrange for the thing you want to appear at your door. You want a guitar? There are a couple of dozen different types in a warehouse down the street, or a custom design can be built in a few hours. Want a ham sandwich? Tell your AI, and a robot will show up 5 minutes later with a ham sandwich. Another counter argument is that human desires are infinite, and the law of thermodynamics states that all of these wants cannot be met. Well, I simply disagree with infinite desires. Humans have proven time and again that they can indeed be satiated. And even though there is more chocolate cake on the platter, they couldn't eat another bite. So this happens everywhere. How many of those little free libraries do you see sitting around the streets of your town? If human wants and needs were infinite, those would always be empty. Look at how many billionaires there are. If human wants and needs were infinite, there'd be no billionaires, because as soon as they had money, they'd buy another car or another house or another yacht. Bill Gates has the physical capability to buy 1 million smartphones, but he doesn't, because his desire for smartphones is satiated at one or two. The other day, Elon Musk said that when AI starts to 100x or 1000x its output capacity, it'll likely run out of human desires to meet. Which brings us to another counter argument, and this runs along the lines that the rich, which is never defined, by the way, will not allow the great unwashed to ever achieve a post scarcity environment. They will manufacture scarcity by hoarding power and technology and allowing just enough goods and services to be produced in order to placate the masses. There are multiple ways this will not come about. First, AI and all its surrounding automation is largely open sourced, meaning that anyone can use it and benefit from it. Second, remember those built in mechanisms that drive down costs in a capitalist society? Well, we're already seeing this with robotics. Several robotics companies are talking about humanoid robots that'll cost less than a car, and they'll be here and available in a couple of years. So, third, and this is the important one, technology that begins as an expensive luxury always becomes commonplace when enough time passes, and that length of time is shrinking rapidly. It happened with fire, it happened with electricity, it happened with x ray machines, penicillin, radio, TV, microwave ovens, internet, smartphones, and it'll happen with automation. Now, some say that energy will be the choke point and maintain scarcity because all the automation needed for this won't even be able to run. So in the short term, yeah, probably. In the medium to long term, probably not. Solar is making improvements at a very rapid rate, and I think it'll soon reach a price point where most people will just start using it residentially, and all new power generation facilities will be solar. We're already seeing AI companies bring their own generators to data centers that they're building. So electricity is a current bottleneck, but it's being solved rapidly. Now, I know some of you are thinking about land and its actual physical scarcity. What you're really thinking about is super desirable land, like the south of France or a beachfront property in Malibu. So first, there is plenty of space on the planet for everyone to get a good parcel of land to build on and use as a home base of sorts. Second, all that super desirable stuff will be rotated on some kind of Airbnb system of rationing by the global super AI. Third, think about this for a second. As we live longer and healthier lives, how many weeks at a beachfront resort will you really want? Remember what I said about our desires getting to a saturation point? So some will say that there aren't enough raw materials on the planet to bring everyone up to the lifestyle I'm suggesting. I just don't agree. There are plenty of raw materials out there, and they're currently just too difficult to get to. Well, with solar powered AI robots working day and night, suddenly we have all the labor we need to get raw materials from just about anywhere. But this gets us to the part that's really at the core of this whole theory: unlimited free robot labor. There's a famous quote that the problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. Now, get this: with unlimited free robot labor, you never run out of other people's money. Goods and services just keep getting produced. Global super AI directs it all. Demand signals using currency are gone and replaced by the collective demands of 8 billion people telling their personal AI what they want to eat tomorrow. Everybody tells their AI that they want red clothes. Global super AI churns out a bazillion red t-shirts. When everyone switches to blue, the global super AI will churn out a bazillion blue t-shirts. And by the way, this global super AI will get really, really good at anticipating our needs and recycling stuff. But that's another video. So now it's time to admit that this theory does have a bit of a chicken and egg problem. You can't get unlimited production until you get enough free robot labor, but you can't get enough free robot labor without unlimited production. So here is where those pesky rich people come in. You see, capitalists want low costs, but not necessarily low prices. So something needs to absorb the initial costs of lining up all the vertical integrations we're going to need to automate an entire chain of production and distribution. So I think that a combination of charity and government action will be needed to get this moving in the right direction. And for those of you who think that that just cannot happen, you need to look at the history of most democratic nations. In short, people generally get what they want. The pressure on governments to do something about the collapsing job market that's coming and all the damage to the economy that does will force their hand, and they will have to act. So when all the jobs disappear and the masses start to rise up and demand action, remember this video, and remember and add your voice to the chorus of humanity that wants us all to enter into a hopeful future. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.